Hey guys, welcome back to According To. I'm Megan.
And I'm Ciera. For this week's episode, we are going to finally be doing, I won't say long-awaited because we brought this up 3 weeks ago, but we are going to be reviewing some of your guys' dating app profiles.
Thank you guys if you submitted yours in, and I'm excited to do this episode. Maybe if it gets, if it's well received and we have more takers, there could be follow-ups.
Mm-hmm. And I'm hoping, I'm editing this episode. Typically, we only post the video version on YouTube, but I'm going to try to post the video version for this on Spotify as well, because I am intending to include some screen recordings and photos as people will allow, if they okayed us to show it on the screen. That way it's a little bit more fun for you guys. You can kind of see what we're talking about as we're going through the different profiles.
So that's to come later on in the episode. As usual, we're going to start off by doing weekly spotlights, general life catch-up, book updates, all that stuff.
And then I think before we get into the dating app profile makeovers, we should talk about briefly our experience with dating app profiles, what makes good and bad content on a dating app, and
I think that's a good idea.
Give our kind of ground rules before we go in and start critiquing. So, what is your weekly spotlight?
I had a really good, fun weekend. I had a wedding that I attended this past weekend. I was my boyfriend's plus one because one of his best friends got married.
Which was actually, I don't know if you there's not much to talk about, but Megan's boyfriend, we knew from high school, but didn't really know him.
But didn't really know.
But then everyone at his wedding was
it was
from
a
high
school reunion, basically. But all good stuff. It's just I really didn't interact with a lot of these people in high school other than knowing of them and maybe small interactions here and there. So it's been interesting to be put back in these settings and situations where it's okay, now I am actually going to get to know you a little bit more. But the wedding was on Valentine's Day. It was at a hotel. It was beautiful. The ceremony went great. The reception
beautiful
was
day.
fun.
For February, they could not have
Beautiful
imagined
day.
that day being as nice as it was.
And yeah, I've never had a date to a wedding before, so that was kind of fun.
Your first one.
First
one. I've had one wedding date.
But it was good. I enjoyed it, and yeah. So,
and
actually this is the most weddings that I'm going to have in 1 year, between both weddings that I have with family members I know, and then also he has again multiple friends just that are getting married that I felt 5 weddings this year, I think.
That's crazy.
So it was fun. I had a good time.
Any peak wedding reception songs?
Yeah. They played Low. I always love Forever by Chris Brown, even though I know Chris Brown is problematic, but that is a bop. It's a good one on the dance floor.
Low always gets my knees hurting. Mm-hmm. When everyone's swiveling
and
down.
I had my Reformation dress with that large slit, so then
Whoop!
I'm holding I'm holding my dress and I can only get so low.
Yeah.
And then they did something interesting for food. They did, instead of any sort of buffet or plated dinner, they had just kind of the reception itself after the cocktail hours, kind of a free-for-all of they had different sections that kind of were buffet-esque, but it wasn't they released everyone from a table to go get their food. It was just you go up to the table you want to go get food at, and then you could get it, and then you could go sit down, and you can go back and forth and up and down if you wanted,
side to side.
But yeah, it was a good weekend. And then since that was Valentine's Day, my boyfriend and I did a dinner yesterday evening, but it was a good weekend. It kind of felt like a nice, long, well spent weekend.
I love when
what I mean?
when a weekend feels long.
So it was good.
I
stayed up way later than I usually do, though.
Yeah,
2:30. I was up till 2:30 or 3 Sunday morning, I guess, technically.
Yeah,
but
that's insane.
I don't usually do that. Anyways.
My weekly spotlight, I'll specifically say Valentine's Day is a spotlight, and then I also had my longest long run of my half marathon training block, but we'll just kind of run through my weekend, and then I will share those, as the weekend unfolds. So Wednesday, didn't really do anything. Valentine's Day, we got lunch at a nice restaurant called Centro in Des Moines.
Did you say Wednesday didn't really do anything?
Did I?
I think you did.
Wow.
I was why are we talking about Wednesday?
I meant Friday. Saturday, Valentine's Day, we got lunch at Centro, and then we like split up, and then Andrew had something set up for 8:45, and like it was supposed to be a surprise. Like basically like when we're getting Valentine's Day stuff set up, he's like, do you like want to have any input, or like do you want a surprise? Like I have an idea of like what we could do. And I was like, surprise me. Like I don't really know what I want to do. And so we got Lachelle's for dinner, so that was also good. And then our thing at 8:45 was a candlelight orchestra, and this was so funny because I don't know if you guys get Facebook ads for this candlelight orchestra, or like if it's not just in Des Moines. I know it's around the country, but like Megan and I would always get it, and we'd be like, this looks fake. Like, I'm like, I don't ever see any pictures from it. I've never seen anyone like actually post about doing it or like going there. And the pictures always look not like AI, but like they just look like generic like stock photos. And so I'm just like, this doesn't exist. It's not real. And so it is real. It does exist. And it was quite lovely. It was an hour, and I actually knew most of the songs. They played like a lot of like love songs from like classical movies. They played Unchained Melody was like their starting song, and there's also like a whole Andrew showed me like a list of like all the songs they're gonna play, and they stuck to that list. So it started with Unchained Melody. Other songs of note that I enjoyed were Can't Help Falling in Love with You by Elvis, and then Shallow by Lady Gaga and Bradley Cooper. But they had like lots of good songs. They did some Disney songs like Can You Feel the Love Tonight? What's the one from Aladdin when they're on the carpet?
I Can Show You.
Yeah, they did that one. So just lots of good, like, I would say there's only like 2 songs that I didn't know. So it's kind of fun. You can like, I mean, in your head, mouth the words,
be respectful.
Hum along. Also, what was so funny is, so it's completely dark except for the candles. And they have a rule that they don't want anyone recording or taking any photos during the performance. And then they say for the last one, which was Celine Dion's My Heart Will Go On, you can take photos and videos. But they're like, we please ask of you, if you're taking a video, please make sure your flash is off. And do you think there's lots of older folks here?
Yeah,
you know?
and it's probably on auto,
I know.
to be fair. And like good
But like, do you think we had so many flash photos and videos, and like some of them, like a lot of them were like, oh, like whoops, like they'd like, you know, bring their phone down, and some were just recording, flashes just on. Luckily it wasn't like too glaringly obvious, like you could just see flash from a phone, like, you know.
Yeah.
So that was just kind of funny. And Sunday is when I did my training run. It's 14 miles. It's my longest run of my life, and it was the longest run of this training block. So it went fairly well. Like, I remember for my half marathon, like my Achilles heel, if you will, was like my side ache that I got around like mile 9, and that really slowed me down. So I didn't get any side aches or anything for this run, but my legs were like bricks by the end. Like my knees were starting to hurt. Luckily today I'm not super sore or anything, but I might need to like rethink my fueling strategy. I've been using just like Nerds Gummy Clusters. I don't know if I need to like figure out, some people do like salt sticks or something. Like I just need to like I need to figure out like if I need to replenish myself in some other way besides like just carbohydrates to like, prevent my legs from getting super bleh. Or like maybe I just need to carry water with me because I didn't have any water. So, but I'm happy with myself. Riddle me this, okay? So I was like, I'm gonna like, you know, take it relatively easily. My last 12-mile run was like a 10:30 pace, which was very good for me. So I was like, I wonder, you know, if this half marathon, you know, that I'm about to do, if I can get it to be like a faster half marathon than my half marathon that I ran last year. Mm-hmm. And so pacing wise, I was like, okay, I'm keeping up with it. And like, I didn't like look at my watch at the exact time that I like did my half marathon, but I was like, no problem. My watch will keep track of like, you know, this is the first time I'm running a half marathon with my Garmin. So it's like, your best half marathon time is this.
You're making it sound like it didn't do that.
Well, listen, I'm getting there.
Listen.
It showed me, from what I can remember, and I don't know if I'll be able to pull it up right now, it showed me like, oh, your best half marathon time is 2:24:21 or something. And that's like, if not, I think it was like 2:24:50 was like my half marathon time. So like, better, okay. But I swear it said my overall time for 14 miles, my average pace was 10:54, okay? And
so if we do some math here,
like I literally Googled this, and I swear it was like 10:54 mile pace for a half marathon would be 2 hours and 22 minutes and 50 seconds. Plus, my last mile, I was going so slow that it was like an 11 something minute mile. So then if you like take out my last mile, my pace would have been even faster than that for my half marathon. So what's up with that?
I don't know. I don't have a Garmin, and I
so
don't know.
I think I know I ran a faster half marathon. I just don't know by what extent. A couple minutes maybe. So my hope is to run. I would love to run a 2:18 half marathon. We shall see. But that was kind of the big thing for Sunday. Then lots of just like cooking, cleaning, watching the Olympics.
Mm-hmm. I went and helped my dad with, he had requested that I help him out with two things that I did on Sunday. One, he needed assistance with getting his Roku hooked up to a TV to make it a smart TV. And then the other thing he needed help with was to replace a ceiling fan. The Roku thing, I mean, it probably helped that I was there to like help ensure the login stuff and the two-factor authentication stuff went smoothly.
Oh my God.
Was 100%.
Has he ever had to deal with two-factor authentication? Because I cannot imagine him.
I mean, I did it.
I know,
but he knew we needed 3 passwords for stuff today or that day. He got them all first try.
Wow.
With one from memory, 2 he had written down, and they were all right. And that's never happened before. His issue was the remote and the Roku remote needed new batteries, so that's why it wasn't working. So we replaced the batteries. Then we could actually hook it up. But I helped him with like the login stuff and making sure he knew how to get to YouTube TV. So that was pretty smooth.
Two-factor authentication is so annoying.
I know, because we log into his Roku, because he has a Roku account, actually. Maybe he's had one before. So we log into that. Then it's like, okay, now go to your Yahoo and like verify, yes, that this is. I'm like, are we kidding? And then I'm on his phone. Of course, he doesn't have a Yahoo or email app on his phone that he's logged into. So then I have to be like, do you know your Yahoo login email? Or like your email login? He did. I was shocked at that. And then we went and hung up a new ceiling fan for him. And that went overall pretty smoothly as well. So it took like an hour, but it was fine. He was
and you got rewarded with
happy
bebops.
to get that done, and then he got me bebops for lunch. We all win.
Okay, book updates. I think since I last spoke with you guys, I don't think I mentioned this. I finished Dungeon Crawler Carl. Is that correct? And
Yeah.
Thank God. Thank God. No, I was disappointed with this. I was really hoping that it would be a good like reset, since I feel like I've been in like a slight slump with the books that I've been reading. I had heard so many good reviews from people that I would consider have like a similar taste in reading to me, and they're like, this was such an unexpected surprise, like I loved it, I thought it was so funny. And so I was hoping for not necessarily like Project Hail Mary vibes, but like I was hoping for like that kind of like main character energy from this main character, and it was just not that at all. The best I could describe it is that, and from also like looking at other reviews, is that if you're someone who is like really into video games,
That's what I was gonna say. This seems like a very like video game.
or like, I think there are specific.
Forward.
Someone kept saying like RPG video games. I don't know what that means. Role playing game? Ooh, that could be right. If you're someone who likes role playing games, then like this might be like right up your alley. I'm not a gamer, never claimed to be, and I just thought like
for her,
what I could tell was supposed to be like the punchline for every joke. I was like, that's not funny. Like, if anything, that's just offensive. So I give it 3 stars and was very glad to be done.
Since we last spoke, I finished reading The Correspondent, which was a book that I picked kind of randomly.
You need to
as
share
I was scrolling through
Ryan's grandma's. Like,
I
reading
am going
habits.
to.
Okay.
I am. I think I picked this because I follow Sarah Caroli on Goodreads, and she had like recently rated this 5 stars, so I just took note of it, and it was like a fairly like, it was like a 300-page book, and I just wanted to like, after reading Dungeon Crawler Carl, I was just feeling kind of slumpy, and I just wanted a quick book. So I enjoyed it. I read it pretty quickly. I read it in like 6 days, which is honestly like good for me recently. I enjoyed it. I gave it 4 stars. It's basically following this woman in her 70s. You're getting the story told through just different correspondence she has with different people in her life. So it's like not actually like a narrative story, but you're getting quite a bit of information just through her correspondence via mail, email, what have you. And I thought it was just pretty interesting, even though it's like kind of like a story that goes nowhere, but you're getting a lot of insight into just like this character and her life, and she's just an interesting person. So I'd recommend it. And then I'm just starting. The current book I'm reading right now is a recommendation that I got from Ryan's grandma, who I have not yet met, but she knows of me and I know of her, and
we know
she's
each other.
A reader. And so I have given her book recommendations through Ryan, and he's passed that along. She has given book recommendations for me that I have not started until now. I started one yesterday. The first couple of ones she gave to me were like 1,000 pages. I was like, okay, hold on. I need a shorter book. So I am currently reading Another Roadside Attraction by Tom Robbins. It's 366 pages. The average rating was like 4 stars, so I'm hopeful that I enjoy it. I can tell it's going to be an interesting read, which I don't think is going to be good or bad. I can't tell yet. But what Ciera was referring to was the 3 books that I had recommended, or I had said like these are like some of my favorite books, and then Ryan just passed that along, and then like that became my book recommendations for her, I guess. So Project Hail Mary, of course, which she read and she
can
enjoyed.
now come to the movie premiere.
Okay. Second book, The Silent Patient. She read that. She really liked it. I was told she really enjoyed the twist with that, which is good because sometimes people like read that twist and they don't like it, or it didn't quite surprise them like it did me. But I think like she read it and was like, oh my god, great twist, which I was like, same. And then the book, she's probably done with it now, but I haven't heard anything. Then she was reading
Does she have a Goodreads?
No, she has no internet, nothing.
Oh my goodness.
I was telling him, I was like, she should get a Goodreads, but she doesn't have like anything.
Okay.
So she was then reading A Court of Wings and Ruin, which she does know is the 3rd book in a series, and she's aware of that, and she could tell she was not fully understanding everything that was going on, and she still just decided not to care. And I'm just like, I was telling him to pass along. I was like, she really shouldn't be doing that, because like the first 2 books are crucial to the series. Why are we just starting at the 3rd book? Nonetheless, I'm sure she's already finished it by now.
Girlie should at least, I mean, she doesn't have internet, but like a Spark Notes version of these books.
But I hope she enjoyed it. Anyways, so that was my update for that. I am reading my recommendation from her to, show some good faith that I promise I will return the favor.
I am currently reading, actually our virtual book club pick is The Things We Leave Unfinished by Rebecca Yarros, and I'm halfway through that book right now. I do feel like, I'm getting back into like the swing of things. This book is definitely like holding my interest more than some of my recent reads. I enjoy that this book specifically has a past and present timeline, so there's like 2 kind of romantic subplots, which I feel like is helping keep my interest. It's kind of reminding me in some ways, and I mentioned this.
I think I felt that way too. I already know what you said in like our Fable group.
It reminds me of Great Big Beautiful Life and Book Lovers a little bit, just because like the main character's grandmother just passed away, and her grandmother was an author, and they're bringing in this other author to try and finish her book, and it's a male author, so like there's some tension there. So if you read those other 2 books and you enjoyed them, you might enjoy this one. So I'm liking it so far. I can't tell, and you don't have to tell me anything anyways, because I kind of want to be surprised if there's something that happens at the end that's crazy, or if I'm just thinking of another book. But so far, so good.
Beautiful.
Okay. Any other updates or whatever? Or do we get into...
So.
Okay. So what is our credentials for reviewing dating apps?
We're starting with like ourselves first.
Meg and I both met our boyfriends on Hinge. So that is our credentials. But more than that, I feel like it's not about the quote unquote success you have on a dating app. It's like, how I can read you as a person and like what I'm able to glean from your profile about you. Because we're not trying to make anyone's profiles someone they're not. We're just trying to make sure that like you're showcasing yourself in the best light. And that will be our goal.
I've actually, excuse me, if you go back on my TikTok, there's been a couple of videos that I've posted. Probably, you have to scroll a bit because it's been a little bit. But I've posted my Hinge profile before. I've asked for feedback from people. I would say, generally speaking, like I had like one where I was, taking criticisms and like if people had recommendations, like then I updated my profile. But I would say generally speaking, from those videos, I would say my profile has been fairly well received overall. So I like to use
I like that there was
bit
one comment specifically, and you'll know what I'm talking about, of one girl being like, girl, I've been following you for a long time, and you could do way better than this. Like
in reference to like how I was presenting my own profile.
She's like, you can sell yourself way more than this. Like, I'm shocked. Not at how bad it was, 'cause it's not bad,
like,
but
I also, like, when I had my dating apps, which, like, you know, I had on and off for years, I would update, like, often enough, I feel like. Because I always liked having... that you can't have outdated pictures, first and foremost.
Yeah.
So, like, I always like to...
What's the oldest a photo can be?
A year, I think.
I agree.
Unless it's, like, your best photo ever. And maybe
or, like, if it's, like, a graduation photo. But, like, graduation
threshold.
has to be, like, you know, within 2 years or something. Like, if you're...
I really think stick within the past year for all photos.
I mean, I think
all
that's
6
best.
of them.
I'm trying to be conducive to photos, or to people who don't take a lot of photos.
That's
usually
fair.
men.
That's fair. But generally speaking, as a good rule, within the past year, if I, like, at the ripe age of, you know, 26, if I was on a dating app, 26, like, that's a little dramatic, but, like, well
In
through
college.
undergrad, I would see high school senior photos and graduation pictures.
And I'm
I
like,
just was
this
like,
is
what are we
gross.
doing?
Like, I understand you are physically however old you're saying you are, but this is a photo of a 17, 18-year-old, and I don't want to see that.
I would say, generally speaking, other things that I kind of personally think should be filled out on a dating app profile, we're mostly going to be talking about Hinge because that's our experience, and that's the one that we both
But I do think a
use
lot of
most
apps are, like,
often.
getting to,
They're all more or less
like be, like, they're sharing the same type of information.
yeah.
Like, even I think Tinder, like, you can share more than you used to be able to. So,
I'd say you should, and I'll caveat some of this with, like, you do want to present yourself in the best light possible, but I wouldn't say don't lie by omission either. Like, at the end of the day, like, you know, your job, it's going to come up whether it's on the dating app or you meet up for your first date. So I think include your occupation if you're
and it doesn't have to be, like, your
unemployed.
specific company.
No.
Like, you can keep things pretty generic.
But I think it's like, you know, as when I'm on the dating app, I was like, I'd want to know, like, what is someone doing for their career, because I think it's helpful. And then if you're unemployed, obviously you're not going to put anything. It will come up though. And then if you're a student, then I would like put that you're a student or something.
What you're studying or something.
And then age is a given because you have to do that. Location is a given. Height is required. Don't lie about it, because if you
why
go
would
on a
you
date,
like
you know,
I know some people do it to like pass the like barriers that people will set sometimes.
but then like you go on the first date, they figure out you just lied straight up on that already. Who's going to give you a second date?
Yeah. What about like the optional like drinking, smoking, like religion? What do you think on that?
Again, I think the more you include, the better. So like I did include that I don't smoke, that I don't drink, that I don't do
my only caveat,
drugs.
or like not necessarily a caveat, but like I was sometimes not concerned, but like if I said like I don't drink on
there were
my
times
dating
where
profile,
sometimes I mostly did have it on, but there was one time I know that I like didn't include that.
it's like I think that the level with which you need to include it depends on like the severity with which you care about it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I didn't want someone to see like, oh, she doesn't drink, and like think she doesn't want to date someone who drinks, and then be like, no, because like that was not what I was trying to get across. I was just like answering honestly.
For you, yeah.
With like me being like, you literally can drink if you want to. Like I don't have any notion of like whether or not I think people should drink. I just don't. Same with like religion. Like I don't know that I put anything.
I didn't put anything. I mean, I answered the questions, but like I kept it hidden on my profile because like I personally am I'm not a religious person. So like,
so I was like, I don't
doesn't
really
matter
need
to me.
know. And if like it was helpful to see if other people had it posted, then I could like, you know, I would assume they would take it more seriously than like I did in terms of like what they were answering for their spiritual beliefs. But I was like, I don't care. Like I'm not religious enough to like have you know.
Mm-hmm.
So that would be my suggestion for you guys, is like the optional ones, answer it, and then share it if you like think it's important that they know, or if you like don't care for them to know. But if it's not something you're like super opinionated about, you don't have to.
And then other things you can include optionally is what you're looking for. I think, you don't have to put something here, but I also think like my interpretation was if someone didn't have it on there, what they were looking
one
for.
TikTok that we found forever ago that was so funny, of a girl being like making fun of.
There's
like,
many girls that make fun of people's profiles.
No, like making fun of like the answer to like the prompt, like what are you looking for, and they're like short, open to long. Yeah.
Oh,
and she was like,
yeah, yes,
that is what we're all here for.
That
like,
is such a strange. I never know what to make of that. Anyways, what Ciera's referencing is like this person that was making kind of a satirical commentary on. I forgot about the video. It's a good one. And you can either put, what you're looking for: long-term relationship, short-term relationship.
Which like that makes literally no sense, but okay.
Short open to long, long open to short, what have you. And I would say like put it on there if you know what you're trying to get out of the app. If you don't know, then like keep it blank, but then like people are going to have that perception of like you don't know what you're looking for, at least like I would. So then like that could be seen as a negative if you don't know what you're looking for. But also like you don't know what you're looking for.
Yeah.
So I'm not here
and
to say
I think people would always get hung up on like, oh, I don't want to say like looking for a long-term relationship if like it's not with you. And I'm like, it doesn't have to be with me. Like it doesn't have to be the first person that like crosses your desk.
I feel like that's the nature of dating. So if your end goal, like let's say you're not moving anywhere, like there's no kind of like external factors where like, okay, I am kind of,
like
under
I'm
some
looking to settle down at some point. And I'm using Hinge as a means to that end.
So long-term relationship is what I would put.
And if you don't vibe with someone after 1 or 2 dates, you move on. You don't say it was a failure because it didn't end in a long-term relationship. You just say, we dated and it didn't work, because dating sometimes doesn't work. It's the nature of dating. Okay, we are going to go ahead and get started with our submissions. Again, thank you guys so much. If you submitted your dating profile,
we greatly appreciate it.
The audience appreciates it. So first we have Alex. He has given us permission to share his profile. So I'm going to open it up.
I guess I can open it up too on my phone, so
and
you don't have to hold it.
So we've got his first photo is as seen on my mom's fridge, and just a picture of him with, I'm assuming it's your family dog. What do you think of the like captions or like stuff?
I never really
use
captions. I just don't think they really add to a photo.
And I think if anything, sometimes it's confusing.
Potentially like
people be like, when I knew my modeling career was over, and I'm like, well, why would you say that? Like you're implying you think you look bad in this photo. So I personally just like don't.
And I don't think people really care.
Yeah.
Either.
Like I know sometimes I think people use them as like, oh, I should look for a photo that would match this. We'll do that, but then like maybe just don't include the caption. As far as first photos go, I think my criteria for first photos is that it's a clear photo of your face, no sunglasses. And actually when I was listening to the You Up podcast, I think they've done like dating app profile makeovers and stuff, and they had a good rule that I thought was like nice. Your first photo should be like this. Like if you show up to the first date, I'm expecting this version of you.
I think this is a good first photo.
Yeah,
I think it's obviously it's just you. It's like this would be like, okay,
you got a smile going.
I know exactly who I'm going.
I like to see a toothy smile for a first photo.
Right. Like if you were to go on a date with someone, like they would know who you're. What you look like.
If I'm looking around in the restaurant that we're at and I see you, then I can clearly identify like you from your photo, and that's very key.
And it's a dog, so that kind of further explains like if you're a dog person or not. So like you got some personality going on in the first photo. I think that's good.
Okay. Typical Sunday is their first prompt. A typical Sunday is a self-care Sunday. I take the time to focus on mentally resetting before the start of a new week by doing nothing too intensive. Could be listening to music, going on YouTube, etc. I think this is a little bit long.
I was going to say a little bit wordy, but I like the content and the effort and thoughtfulness with the answer.
Because I think that like you're kind of repeating things by just saying like, oh, it's a self-care day. I like to mentally reset. Like I feel like that's all like a given. I think that where you could be more successful is by saying, okay, instead of listening to music and going on YouTube,
I was just gonna say
what music you listen to and what YouTube channels you watch.
Especially because it could be niche to you, but if someone's interested enough, like a quick Google search, like they'll
Yeah.
they'll be able to get some answers themselves.
It's also a good way where if you find someone who has like similar
Right.
like taste
when
in
I would
music,
be on Hinge or something, and I found like someone mentioned something that was like more niche or specific, where I was like, oh my god,
like I don't think anyone ever mentioned Monk, but like if someone had mentioned Monk, I'm like 10 times more likely to be like, I love Monk, like I need to communicate this to them.
So I think maybe shorten it a little bit, but then try to add in what music you'd be listening to, or who
Like
you'd
you
be
could be like
watching on
a
YouTube.
typical Sunday typically consists of me doing my laundry while listening to X music or like streaming this YouTube channel like over my TV. More or less.
You know,
like I feel like
word
it
it
gets
a
the
little
same
bit.
point across, but it makes it a little bit more like personal and inviting for a response.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Next section, we've got the demographic profile information.
Love that you've got it all filled out.
We've got age, height, all of that good stuff. Clinical research associate, amazing.
Very cool.
And then looking for a life partner, dating for a long-term relationship and marriage. Also looking for the Ann Michael May to my Drake May. I want to take things slow. I don't know who those people are.
That's the football player. People love like Drake May, and then his fiance.
Okay.
She's
So I mean that you can
Yeah.
keep if you think it like would, you know, get someone who like loves football. If that's something where you like football, it could be someone who's like, oh, like that gives you an insight into your personality without explicitly saying like I like football.
mm-hmm.
And then monogamy, looking for genuine long-term relationships. I don't think you need to have like the extra blurb if you don't
up
want it.
to you.
But, you know, I don't think there's anything wrong with having that.
Okay. Additional photos. We've got favorite memory of mine, and then this is him standing by a Yoda thing. If you're a big, this is Star Wars, correct? Yes.
Mm-hmm.
If you're a Star Wars fan, I think it gives a little insight into your personality. I kind of want to keep looking at some of the other photos here to see.
Yeah, see if we need to
what
do any
else?
rearranging. Selfie
Got a
number
selfie.
503. This is again like a thing where I'm like, I feel like you saw the caption. You're like, sure, here's a selfie. Upload the selfie, take out the caption, is what I would say.
Next prompt, we have the hallmark of a good relationship is being best friends, spending time together, and spending time for ourselves individually or with family and friends.
I love this. And I think it's true, but it's too generic.
Yeah, I was
Like
going to say the same
everyone
thing.
is looking for that in a relationship, but you don't want to attract everyone. You want to attract your person. So you could scratch this all together, but I'm trying to think of a way that we can make it still more personal to you. Do you have any ideas, Megan?
I feel like if there's a way that you could, because this is talking about kind of like spending time alone or together, like you could maybe try and make a comment of like parallel play parallel play while I'm doing
Like you're reading your romance book while I do XYZ. Like say something about the partner that you're trying to attract. What is she doing?
yeah, and then what are you doing?
Yeah.
And
Like
make it
if
work
you're
for
playing
you
video
guys.
games or something or whatever, like then
'Cause
you're
then
still
that
getting
just is a little bit more specific. It's kind of, you know, you're kind of projecting a little bit what things or hobbies you're envisioning your girlfriend might be interested in. So I'm seeing the next photo here is another repeat with like another Yoda. And so I feel like if you can avoid repeat photos of like the same day and location,
But if you're
that's
trying to
probably
attract a big
ideal.
Star Wars fan, you know, those 2 photos will get her. It's kind of funny that you like have 2 Star Wars pictures and then like you don't mention Star Wars in your prompts. I feel like you could easily turn stuff we've talked about into like relating it to Star Wars. Not that your pictures don't, you know, show that you're already a Star Wars fan.
The
so.
last prompt here kind of is saying like the same thing as that second prompt. So it's the way to win me over is putting effort into our relationship and being best friends while we are together in love.
Like
Like
everyone wants
everyone's
that.
looking for that.
Other thing I will say too is that you've used this emoji like repeatedly throughout this entire profile. I would use it once, maybe twice, and no more than that. Or no emojis at all. I don't really care. But I think that like we've seen it 4 times at this point. So
I think, correct me if I'm wrong. I think a lot of your prompts are focusing on like what you're wanting and like what you're looking for. We need to find a way to like open a door a little bit to like
what
answer,
can you
ask a question
provide?
of someone that would then, or at least like give someone else an easier in
Yeah.
to like answer or
because
respond.
I don't think you've
to your
asked any
prompts.
questions. You've just said like what you want, and it's hard to respond to those. Like if I'm a girl looking at this, I can't be like, I would love to
Be your best
have,
friend.
like-
and, like
you
you
know,
don't know each other.
I can't respond, you know, honestly to that. So give yourself more of an in. I would, like you said, replace one of these with something you can ask a question or like make it a super easy in for her or him. I didn't
like
even
they
look to
have
see
one
which,
of the.
if you're straight or not. I don't know, but
There's like that section for questions where it's like more so asking like questions of the other person. I think I can't remember all the categories, but like definitely try to use something that's a little bit less focused on yourself.
Okay, and then dating me will look like, and it's a photo of you looking away. I don't know what this means. And again, this is like the nature of like the caption. You
Like,
know,
are you really looking at the caption or not?
Like, you know, I see this and I'm like, you will look like you holding a glass looking away. Like, what is that? I don't know. I don't love this photo just because it doesn't tell me anything about you. I can't see your face. I would love
could this
to
be good for an
see.
Instagram photo? Sure. Is this great for a dating profile?
And maybe again, you could be someone who's like, I have literally 5 photos of myself, and this is one of them. And you're
It's not the
trying
worst.
to get it on there. If you have other photos, like with friends or family, that you would be comfortable putting on a dating profile, like I think having that as like one of your last photos is fine because we've already seen what you look like at this point, and then it tells us again a little bit more about you and like, you know, the people that you're interacting with.
Mm-hmm.
But overall, I would say
I feel like your
solid
photos
profile.
are good. I know what I would expect if
like I'm getting a vibe from you that
Yeah.
I'm like, you know, kind of figuring out what I would expect from you on a first date, but I think that you can like better articulate that. And then like, again, hopefully our suggestions for like minor tweaks you can make to your prompts would like help you if you're feeling you're not getting matches that you are thinking are fruitful.
Mm-hmm.
So thank you, Alex,
Thank you,
for
Alex.
submitting.
Okay, I'm gonna go to Jessica, and she sent us
Are you screen
her
recording?
Bumble profile. I am now.
Yeah.
And she is okay with us sharing the photos that she sent us. So, that is what we're gonna do. Okay. So I haven't used Bumble much, so this will be interesting to kind of see how it works. So this is Jessica. She's 30. She works as a registered dietitian. Are you pulled up on stuff so you can see yourself?
Yep.
Okay. First photo she has here is just her holding a dog. We've got another person and a dog in the first photo.
A dog is a classic first photo.
I don't mind this photo. I kind of want to see what the
I'm
other
curious
ones
to see if we would do any rearranging. But not
pulled
bad.
up.
Like if I see this photo of you, I see you on a first date, assuming like you're not wearing a ton of makeup, it looks like. So assuming you're like not someone who wears a ton of makeup, and then like I would expect I could recognize you.
Yeah. Cute dog.
On a
Like,
first date.
I'm gonna move on. Okay, here's her bio. So bio says loves reading and watching the Brewers, Packers, Bucks, and Badgers, and spending time with family. Working as a dietitian in the area. Love animals / pets, and Crohn's warrior.
I would say I don't know how it presents on Bumble versus
That's a disjointed
like
wording.
You're more so like the verbiage of it. Like, does it say like Jessica loves, or is it just like showing your bio? Because then I would just change it to like I love you know, whatever. I love reading, watching the Brewers, Packers, Bucks. I would maybe just say like love reading Wisconsin sports teams, or like I don't know if you're all of the Wisconsin sports teams, but it sounds like you're a lot of them.
They are.
And spending time with family. I don't think you need to include working as a dietitian because we can already see that. And then I don't think you need to include loves pets and animals because I feel like we can see that from your profile as well.
I agree.
And I think Crohn's warrior is fine. About you, you've got your active. If you like to be active and you think like whatever you do for activity, if you think that would be interesting to include in your bio, you could do that as well.
Yeah.
Like if you're someone who likes to run or lift or rock climb or whatever, if you think it's interesting, you could be a little bit more specific in your bio as well. Otherwise, everything else looks good. And then she's looking for a long-term relationship, kindness, openness, loyalty. I don't really know all the other stuff that Bumble has for that, and I think those are all good things to look for in a relationship, so I'm neither here nor there about it.
Next, there's a My Interests section. So she's got baseball, country music, pop music, dogs, cats. I feel like, because I have used Bumble briefly, like a long time ago. It was never my favorite app personally, so like it was never long lasting. I feel like the different categories just kind of get a little bit overkill, where like you've got a bunch of tags and like nothing really like is super unique or specific, but not that that's your fault. It's just like how the app is. So I don't really have any like critiques for that specifically. Next photo is you and I'm guessing some family at a Packers game. I think
it's a lovely
that's
photo.
fine as well. All right. After work, you can find me reading, walking, watching sports, YouTube, and TV shows.
again, we need to be a little bit more specific, like we talked about with Alex. Like, everyone likes to do this stuff, but you find one person and what they like to watch on YouTube and what they like to read, and you see them with someone else who likes to watch YouTube and read, and you're like, we are not in this, like, we're not on the same wavelength.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we watch entirely different things. We read entirely different things.
I think it can be a little bit nerve-wracking to, like, kind of share the
vulnerability.
This is what I like, the stuff that I like, and someone could look it up and kind of be like, this is so not what I would.
But we're not
be
trying to attract
in.
everyone. We're trying to attract people that you would be compatible with.
So I think it's worth throwing out like those niche interests in people you like to watch, and so like be a little bit more specific here, and either dive into like what your favorite genre to read is. If there's a certain area you like to walk, that's like, you know, obviously not gonna get yourself in a dangerous situation. Don't say I go walk in this specific spot at 5 p.m. every day.
Yeah.
But just like say, you know, like Gray's Lake is a popular walking spot here. So someone could say like, I really enjoy listening to my favorite audiobook. You could get more specific than that too. Like while I'm
listening to Akatar while walking Gray's Lake, whatever. And it's so specific that people like are like, oh yeah, like I can see this person. Like I know exactly, like,
even if it is kind of
my
like,
sister listens to
even
Akatar.
if it is like every girl ever, like if that's your vibe, like
that's your vibe. You know, if you're basic, be basic.
So I would just, again, try to be a little bit more specific there, and you could hone in on like any one of those things that you had mentioned.
Mm-hmm. This picture, I don't love the lighting in it. It's a little bit backlit, but like I can still see your face pretty clearly, so I don't hate it.
I agree.
But if you did find a better photo to replace it, then that could be a one to replace.
Yes.
Next photo, another picture.
This one's good too. Good lighting.
Yeah, I was gonna say I like that
I think
one more.
this is your
I would
brother's,
almost maybe.
I think bump this up a little bit earlier because we get a good shot of what your face looks like. The lighting's good.
I'm guessing this is your brother.
That's what I'm guessing as well.
And I think that gives off brother energy. So I think some people are like nervous to include.
You're a Jonas Brothers fan.
Someone else of the opposite sex. They feel like it deters people, but I think it's very much giving brother energy. Jonas Brothers fan. I think it's a good photo. I like that you're, again, saving the group photo for last, because then you say, here, I have friends. Here's me doing something social. Again, this gives you a little bit more personality because we can tell what type of music you like. And I'm guessing you're a Joe girly, just based off that photo as well. So me too.
I feel like keep your first photo as your first photo out of the ones on here. Maybe bump up that.
I will say I don't love photos on the same day. So I think the family photo. Actually, maybe those.
No, they're not.
No, there's one on the same day. Just same vibes. Okay. You can keep both.
And then I think maybe try to search around for a different picture besides the swing picture.
Yeah.
With better lighting and stuff. But thank
overall,
you, Jessica.
Great photo.
Thank you for
great profile.
In.
Thank you for sharing. Okay, we have Venanisha up next. She is okay with us showing her profile, so let's pop up these photos.
I love your first photo.
Yeah,
I think
first photo is great, gorgeous, great lighting. I'm guessing you use like a digital camera, and I'm like your makeup is
looks natural.
Natural. I'm guessing this is kind of like your everyday makeup vibe, and I would say like this follows the first date rule where like I could totally see you showing up to a first date, you know, with your makeup done to this level, looking exactly like this. Mm-hmm. Great first photo, and it's not confusing because you're the only person in this photo, so amazing. Unusual skills. A serial hobbyist with a bunch of unusual skills.
I don't love that you are re-saying the same exact thing as the prompt.
Like, what is your unusual skill?
Yeah.
You said you have a bunch. Name at least one of them. Can you say the alphabet backwards?
Like, I liked where you were. I think I like where you're going with this, with talking about being like a serial hobbyist, because I feel like I can get like I'm starting
if you can
to
say
get,
like I make polymer clay magnets in the shapes of every type of fruit ever. Okay, say that. Mm-hmm. That's way more interesting than just being a serial hobbyist. You could, if you're a serial hobbyist to the point where your hobby changes every week, you change every week.
Unusual skills.
Like,
there you go.
You know, like I totally get what you're saying, but I feel like guys don't resonate with like the term serial hobbyist as much as women do. Guys would be like, oh, that's crazy that you do this one strange thing. And then as you get to know them, then you say, I do these other strange things as well. But like, I think a guy would read serial hobbyist and be like, what is that? Probably. So be more specific. That's what, if we're learning one thing from these, what's like one way, thinking back to like our dating profile days, what is a way that you can remember being specific on your dating app profile?
In some ways, I wish I like had like my profile. Because I think I'd change.
I would always like often say like something about like, you know, and this is not super crazy, but like I love escape rooms and Hawkeye football. Is that crazy? No. but like it's enough of like an in to be like, you know, people are like, oh, escape rooms. Like,
Yeah.
I love escape rooms too. Or like, I've never done an escape room. It's an in. So we need to give more people ins. But so far so good. Be a little bit more specific with that unusual skills prompt. Then we got our demographics
information and demographic stuff.
Short term open to long.
It's just like, again, I'm not going to tell you to change what you're looking for.
And then she says monogamy and figuring out my relationship type.
Okay, you know what? If you're going to say you're figuring out your relationship type, like, I will just give my caveat earlier of like, you know, you have to understand how people may interpret that possibly negatively, but also maybe they're also figuring out their relationship type. So it really just, it is what it is. But we've said what we feel about it.
Next photo. I think this one's super cute.
I think this is cute.
It's really more girl coded. Like, I feel like a guy would be like, why are your eyes closed?
This is a good Instagram photo. And like, we'll see. I don't think you need to take it out because I do think it's a cute photo, but it's, you know.
A guy would be like, why are your eyes closed? And maybe you get responses to that and that's like another way in. Who knows? Maybe you're 2 steps ahead of us. I say keep it for now. I like it. Then we have photo of her with, I'm assuming it's your dog. I love the matchy. I like that you're showing your dog. I feel like it's always fun if you have either a pet yourself or like a family pet that you see often. I think it's always fun to include in the profile. Any notes on
I like it.
That one?
I don't have any notes.
I will say I'm curious. Is your hair currently short or long? I'm guessing short because your first photo is short, but then your second photo, it's long. So, could confuse the men. Yes.
But I don't really think they're going to care
I don't think your
much.
appearance changes drastically from one to the other, but like I would make note of it. I've heard of like women specifically going on like, they're like, he's bald in this photo and he's got a mullet in this photo. What am I walking into for our first date? So, I don't know.
Okay, next we've got this prompt says, I'm weirdly attracted to a good driver by Arizona standard. Bonus points if you can drive manual.
I don't know what Arizona standard means, but
I'm guessing
you live in Arizona.
There's not great drivers in Arizona, so if you can drive decently well. We're not locals, so that might just go over our heads. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe this is a really great prompt.
I don't love it. It's not, I don't know. I'm not really getting anything from it.
I would say this only uses if you're like really into car guys.
Yeah.
Like, because that's going to be who's response to this prompt is like car guys. If that's not the audience you're attracting, I would change it. So.
And then next photo we have, did we say, we don't know what she is doing for a job or if
she's studying right now, I think. Because she said she's in school, but I don't see anything for work. I'm curious what you do for work.
Are you studying for...
Are you like in optometry school?
If so, I mean...
I would say that
this
somewhere.
photo's not like the best photo anyways. Just like lighting wise. So... I don't know if you have...
Can you show off your studies in some other way? Like how you're like a smart, amazing, intelligent woman? Like a graduate photo or like a research
Like it's not
thing.
the worst. You can keep it if you want to, but I do feel like you'd probably have a better photo than this one. And it doesn't have to be even... Like it could just be a different photo.
And if this is like if you're trying to like get people interested in like what you're in school for, I would maybe just like say what you're in school for and like let that be not the opener, but like the insight into what you're doing for school. Because I'm looking at this and I still know you do. And maybe that's, again, how you're trying to get people to respond to you, but I think clarity is always helpful. Try to guess this about me, what my comfort TV show is. I like this one. It invites a response. It kind of like lets you see how people are perceiving you. I think it's fun.
I was going to say, like, I don't mind this, but I do feel like trying to have someone guess something about you when, like, they literally know nothing about you is, like, I mean, it's a way to get a response. Yes. So I'm not saying it's the worst thing ever, but, like, when you're in the world of dating apps and it's like, I don't really care what your comfort TV show is, honestly. I don't really care to guess what it is either, you know? So,
that's
like, that's kind of where I am wondering if maybe could be used for something different or something better.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you're just asking for someone else to, like, guess something about you. Maybe you get rid of this prompt and try to do something that's more, like, inviting you to ask, like, someone to send you what their answers to a question is. Yeah. People like talking about themselves.
True. Last photo, I think, is fun. Shows that you enjoy. Last 2 photos. I like both these. Girl, you slay with a digital camera.
They really,
I must say.
Yeah, you've got great photos.
Last one's great. Sunglasses are fine as long as it's not your first photo and not like all of your pictures have sunglasses. So I think it's cute. No notes on the last two for me.
Yeah, I think overall great profile again.
Great starting point. I feel like I get like a good vibe from you. I just feel like we could
find
elevate it a little bit more. Especially like the first one has high potential.
Yes,
you just need to edit it a little bit. So thank you, Venanisha, for sending your dating profile.
Just for context, the Isabella Stewart Gardner Museum is a site of an art heist in Boston, so that's where that prompt came from. And then she said she'd prefer if we didn't show her profile, but we can talk through if possible. So we will not be screen recording this one, but we'll do our best to share with you guys what the stuff's going on. All right, so
first photo's her at what appears to be a concert. Lighting is pretty good. It looks like all the lights are on, so it's not super dark. She's got a nice little dark black Canadian tuxedo on. It's not
something we haven't really talked about too is like, I don't think it's necessary to have a full body photo on your page, but
I just need to be able to see what you like look like. Yeah, like I need to just like not see your face.
Yeah, you like know? Having a little bit more to understand just like what someone fully looks like is good. So I think this is like a photo that does that, where it's like, okay, I can clearly see your face, I can see what you look like, and it passes that first date.
Toothy smile, no sunglasses, looks good. And I say toothy smile because I know some people naturally smile with no teeth, but I have to see your teeth. Like, I just must know. I'm like, what are you hiding under there? Choose our first date. This is our first prompt that we're seeing on here. That's one of the
quiz ones,
which is fun. Stealing art from the Isabella Stewart Gardner Museum, coffee at a bookstore, a long walk, and deep conversation.
Go ahead.
I feel like for this one, like, you're trying to make a joke about, like, the first one is like, oh, like, do you remember the art heist that happened? And so, like, it's funny, but then, like, if they don't pick it, like, that joke just, like, goes to waste. You know what I mean? So I feel like you could almost just do a prompt for this one and just say, like, let's have our first date be stealing art, whatever.
I was going to say, I don't mind the options because I feel like it does give, like, it helps me feel like you're maybe, like, a more, like, low-key type of person with these date options.
I would just say that if you're going for legit date options, don't include the art heist because it's clearly not a feasible option.
She's just saying, let's go to the art museum. Like, the joke is just the stealing art thing.
Okay.
It's not that deep. I think this prompt is fine and that your options are fine. But you can, take Ciera's thoughts into consideration as well. Okay. Next prompt is don't hate me if I complain about my tummy hurting. We could probably do a better prompt than this.
Even if it is like, it makes me giggle, but that's because the girlies know, like, oh, hot girls have tummy issues. Guys don't really care. I would say, what would you say instead of this? I just think you need a different one.
I think, we just need to pick a different one. Do you have any more besides this?
It's a video.
I know, I'm like scrolling along my video and it's like not moving.
Nice.
Maybe you have to accept this.
No, I can see more.
Okay, well, I'll try again.
As far as your demographic stuff, I don't have any issue with it. I think you share everything you need to share. Look good.
Okay, next photo.
All right, we've got a mirror picture with you in a nice little dress. I will say I don't love the lighting in this one.
I was going to say the lighting's not great. It's dark on your face.
Yeah. And I don't know if you were doing this to be like, we talked about earlier about like, doing like a full body shot. I don't know if you're doing that to be like, here is kind of like my full body shot. I think your first photo does it just fine. Mm-hmm. And it's a better photo than this one. And like, again, I can't really see, like I can see your face, but you're like looking down on the camera. I can't see your eyes. You're not smiling. Like this doesn't really, do anything to enhance,
thoughts, perception,
your beauty in any way. Whereas your other one that you have below it,
I actually think this could be your first profile.
Yeah.
The first picture.
You've got great lighting, eyes wide open, toothy smile. We can clearly see you and like it's a very accurate, photo. You look good in it. So that could definitely be like first photo if you wanted it to be. And then like your first photo of you at the concert could be a little bit lower.
Next prompt is I could stay up all night talking about anything and everything. I love to yap.
We gotta be more specific.
We need to be more
What is like
specific.
The last deep dive on like a super niche topic that you looked at?
Like going niche is where the vulnerability is at. That's where you're going to get people who start to
say like, oh, that's weird. Like, that's kind of weird.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Like, I think people appreciate
I've included, I think, like, you know,
uniqueness.
When I was, like, on dating apps, I'd be like, oh, like, Mayday air disasters as long as I don't have a flight in the next 2 months or something. Like, that is niche. I don't know how many people, like, know what Mayday air disasters is. But, like,
they can Google and get caught up to speed well enough. And if they think that's funny,
then, like, you know, they might say something. You have to, like, be vulnerable and, like, share.
Or like this is like kind of dumb, but like it would get enough responses where like a unique thing I do is like I listen to everything on 2 times speed. So like there'd been multiple times I'd find a way to include that in a prompt or something, because it's just like something that gets a reaction. A little bit. Yeah.
You want a reaction that then warrants a response from them to your profile. Let's make sure we're on the same page about Taylor Swift. Or let's make sure we're on the same page about Glee and Taylor Swift. I feel like that's a fun prompt because, I mean, I can assume what
we assume you like those things, but
if you don't, even more of a shocking twist. So I think it's fun. It also, like, I think we've said before, like,
Taylor Swift is a weed out question.
Yeah.
So I think that's good too.
And then last photo is, that's a fun one.
There's 2 photos.
Oh.
I know. I was going to say you could probably bump this up sooner. I like this one.
Yeah, I like the disco ball one. She's got her sitting on the ground, very well lit. Like, it looks like
it's just a nice
there's
photo.
Like a disco ball, dartboard, like photo shoot. And you're got some like cool Doc Martens on, green tank top, black pants. It's like definitely like a vibey photo for sure.
So I wouldn't say don't make it the first one, but I do think bump it up a little bit.
Yeah.
And then last photo is, I'm guessing you in Europe somewhere. Sunglasses are on, like the photos.
I don't love this one. The lighting's kind of weird to me, like the shadows on your face. I feel like you could find a better photo than this. Especially like, I mean, it's your last photo, so it's like whatever, but like you could find a better photo. If you've done like all the traveling that it looks like you've done, surely there's one that shows your face a little bit better.
All right. Thank you, Rachel, so much for sending that stuff in. All right. So we've got Carly. First photo is her seated at a picnic table in a park, it looks like. Very nice straight on photo. Lighting is pretty good. I like the first photo. I don't really have any super big prompts or anything or changes. Okay, prompt. Instead of grabbing a drink, and we got 3 options. Go for a walk and talk. Get a sweet treat and talk. Go grocery shopping for nothing in particular and talk. I kind of like that because I feel like you're making a joke at like.
I was gonna say
don't do that. I think she's trying to make it a joke.
We know we're gonna talk. It's a date.
Well, I think you're trying to be funny. So if
you're trying to be funny, keep it. If you were saying that earnestly, delete it. Like, say, go for a walk, get a sweet treat, go to the grocery store. I've heard of people going to the grocery store for a first date, and I think that's the strangest first date.
Give me a nightmare.
I'd be like, I'm just trying to grocery shop, and now I'm stressed out because I'm on a date too. And then who pays for my groceries? Do I still pay for them? I think those are fine prompts though, especially if you're not someone who likes to drink, which I haven't gotten to that part of your profile yet. But I like all the date options.
All right, next we've got I wind down by reading a cheesy romance book and listening to instrumental music.
This is good. This is pretty specific, but still like general enough.
You're not showing all your cards.
Yeah. What kind of instrumental music? Like, is it lo-fi? Is it? I
think this gives like the opportunity though for follow-up questioning. So like, I think a match, they could respond to this and keep the conversation going.
I think you could be more specific if you wanted to, but I think that it's fine how it is. And then we've got all of your demographic stuff. I don't see any issue with any of that stuff.
Looking for a long-term relationship. Good deal. Okay, next photo. We've got a photo that looks like you're sleeping on the couch, cuddled up with, I'm guessing, your dog. It is a cute photo.
Move it lower.
We don't really see your face. And I think our third picture here is that same day with you at the park and stuff. Again, I just feel like it feels like photo shoot vibes.
Yeah, it's like giving like, oh, they went to like get photos for a dating app profile. And like, I'm not saying that's what you did, but like that's the vibe it's giving.
And someone
off.
could so do that, but like bring different outfit, go to different locations. And I
think let's pick our favorite of the 2. I personally like the second photo better than the first one. I feel like the lighting is a little bit better.
I can agree with that.
I think your smile looks
keep
like
this
brighter.
One. You could move it as your first photo, pending additional options.
Before you meet, you should listen to Gregory Alan Isakov, specifically Big Black Car. I love any good indie folk music. I have no idea who this is, but if that's something that's super important to you and really highlights your music taste, keep it. We said we want specificity.
Then we have a photo that I really can't tell where you're at. It looks like you're inside, but you're bundled up going somewhere. And, like, maybe it's a personality pic.
Like a
I
restaurant
don't know.
booth or something.
Yeah. Like, could this potentially be, like, personality pic-esque? I don't know. But, like, I'm not really
But, like, I don't
sure
know you
what
yet.
to react to.
I don't know you yet. So, like, this might be someone, like, if someone who knows you see this, they're like, oh, like, that's, like, her in a photo. I don't know you. So, I'm like, are you scared? Are you trying to be funny? What is going on? Are you on a hike? Are you just here, like, waiting for your Denny's breakfast?
Yeah.
Like,
we don't know. So I think this picture just kind of lacks a little bit of context. And
but again, you said caption this photo. Maybe you're looking for, like, that kind of response. I personally would change it because, like, I don't want to feel like I'm doing too much homework. If I'm, like, on a dating profile, I'd be like,
yeah,
I don't know what you're doing. And then I scroll. Okay, next one. I hype myself up by blasting a good song in both my ears and dancing around like a fool. What would be the alternative to blasting?
like if you're wearing headphones, but, like, I think you can take out that part. You could
I would say, like, what is your hype
blasting.
up song? I hype myself up by blasting X song, you know, at top volume.
And dancing around like a fool.
Yeah.
All right.
And then guess
finishing
where
up
this
with
photo
our
was
last
taken.
couple.
You've got a photo of you and possibly a friend. You're the one with the glasses and the hat, right? So
I'm
I feel like
guessing
it's
so,
kind of,
yeah.
it's hard to, I'm not seeing a lot of you.
Yeah.
I would like to see more
You're
of you.
hidden underneath your glasses and your hat and your hood. It is, like, a cool spot, though. But I feel like you could probably find a better picture.
Yeah. I like that you're with a friend. So if you, like, have other photos with friends that you'd want to include, like, we're getting to the last few photos. So I think this is, like, the appropriate time to have them displayed. And then last photo is selfie with a thumbs up. You're wearing some sort of vest of sorts, like you're a crossing
Like
guard
yeah,
or something. I'm curious about why you're wearing a vest, but, like, is it your best photo? I would say no, probably.
I think, like, it's a good photo of your face, but again, like, lacking context.
It's like it
is
gives
this-
like I'm sending a friend this on Snapchat, like, which I don't love. Like, I don't think we need, like, a thumbs up selfie for dating app profile. I think that I just always prefer, like, mirror selfie at the worst, and
at worst.
I
think mirror
photo
selfie
of
is-
you at best. Like, someone else is taking the photo.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Thank you very much, Carly, for sending that in. Okay, just getting back into dating after a 7-year relationship that ended in August. I sent both my Hinge and Bumble. Let's just do Hinge because, like, I really don't like Bumble.
and I'm honestly personally of the belief if you have more than one, they should just be, like, the same profile
More or
as
less.
much as they can be.
She's looking to see what's out there, go on fun dates, hopefully meet my husband. But she also wants to start travel nursing in July, so she won't be mad if nothing comes of it.
Okay. First photo, there's 2 people. At this point in time, I don't know who you are. That's the issue.
Like, you could be the one holding the phone, but you might not be.
As a photo, like, if you include it later, it's a fine photo. I get the vibe that you like to work out, so, like, that tells me something about you, but it shouldn't be your first photo. Next, we have a video, and
See, you're not the one holding the phone even.
okay, so now we know who you are. If there's sound, which I think there is, I can't listen to it right now, but and that's helpful for, like, if you're at a concert, someone can, like, know what kind of music taste you have.
I think as a video, like, I'm not super,
Like,
I don't have a
I
video.
could not find a video that I would post on a dating profile. There's no way that I would. Guys have the weirdest videos that they put on dating profiles, where it'll be like them, like, shooting a ping pong ball into, like, a beer cup, and I'm like, what was that supposed to tell me about you?
I don't mind the video. I think
It's fun. It shows that you, like, look like you're fun, you have a good time, like, you like to dance and, you know, jump around. And it'd be a good time.
All right, instead of grabbing drinks, let's go to an escape room together, chat over coffee and pastries, go for a walk, then have a picnic.
I like them.
I think these are good, kind of more specific options that kind of give some insight into your personality. Next
Specifically
prompt,
love the going to an escape room.
the way to win me over is to be chivalrous. It's like, this
Yeah.
isn't bad, but it's also like most women are
Even
probably
just
looking
saying,
for a
like,
chivalrous
the way to win
person.
me over is, like, open my door for me. I feel like even that's better than, like, just
Yeah.
saying be chivalrous. What does
Yeah.
that mean?
Paint a picture.
Like, give them step A, B, and C. Open my door for me, and you're one step ahead. Because then a guy says, I can open the door. if a guy says, be chivalrous, in what way? And plus, maybe a guy doesn't know what chivalrous means. We gotta break it down.
You never
for
really
him.
know sometimes. Okay, then we've got her demographic stuff, which is all well and good. I don't really have anything to add to this, so we'll go on to the next photo. I like the dog photo. I like where it's at in your profile. Okay, girl, the fourth picture, that's your first picture. This bottom one with you at a concert, I'm guessing, this is your first photo.
Yeah,
Bump
that's
it up
much better.
immediately.
Like, that's a girl I want to go on a date with. She's cool. She's vibing. She's pretty.
Yeah, slays. The lighting's great.
Yeah.
There's your first photo.
Dog photo, my comment is just the lighting. I don't like the shadows on your face.
It's not that bad.
And, like,
I think,
again, sunglasses, I just don't think sunglasses ever help for photo. Like, if you have a photo without sunglasses, I think that they're better. But it's not your first photo, so.
All right, my simple pleasure is an empty gym, long walks, and a fridge full of meal prep.
I think that this is insightful
think
into
so
like the
too.
type of person that you are. It's specific. You're looking for likely someone who is also into fitness and health without saying, I'm
Right.
looking for someone
I'm
who is
looking
into
for a
the gym
gym
and whatever. Like, you're saying something about yourself that then can be
An attraction
carried
to
over
other people.
into like, oh, I bet she would like this type of person. Yeah, I have no notes for that one. That's good.
Sorry, I had to go back. Okay, now we're on a photo with you drinking a martini or something. I don't know. But pretty good lighting. Can see your face pretty well. I think that's a fine photo to include. Let's make sure we're on the same page about religion, politics, and our life goals. I think that's good.
It's fine, but I think like that naturally could come up on a first date.
Mm-hmm. And you already have the stuff, like the baseline on your demographics of like where.
And I think you can
stand.
be a good consumer on dating apps to like see someone's profile and be like, oh, like they're not the same as I am. Like you can kind of X that yourself, where you're like now losing real estate on your dating app profile
to have something
like, that could be a little bit more insightful into like how good of a match you two might be. So I understand this is important. I wouldn't say like,
or like, you know, like you're talking about like life goals or future. You could like maybe incorporate something of like, you know, either saying like,
let's make sure we're on the same page about like, living in 5 states before we settle down and have kids. Like that's a fun way to be like, you know, here's what I want to do. Is someone like
willing to, you know, travel, go out and about and live life elsewhere? Because you said you might be travel nursing.
Yeah.
So
I think life goals would be one to expand upon in this, and then like religion and politics, I think naturally like would just, you can weed that out on a dating profile or on first date.
Your profile already, probably.
Yes. So that's the adjustment we would recommend there. And then I will say, haven't you had another caption that said "me and my blogging days"?
Oh, I mean,
like don't use the same caption
twice.
Been
paying attention.
If you are going to use captions, we just say get rid of captions. We don't like them.
I think these last 2 pictures are great too. This last one could also be a contender for.
Last one is gorgeous.
Yeah,
I love it.
I think I still love the one with the green shirt the most. I think that one's. I mean,
yeah.
I guess
and because I know you have these photos, like I know that like the sunglasses with the dog, you have a better photo than that. Like I'm positive.
This last one could also be a contender for your first one because I know some people have a thing against hats, but I like either this last one or the green shirt one for your first photo, and then just those couple adjustments we said.
And
otherwise.
then again, you're one with your friend. I think it's fine. If you have any other like, because you have quite a few solos that we liked. If you have any other like friend photos,
or like more casual ones, because I know you know the digital camera photos slay,
but like
but we also like the casual photos too.
Gym photos casual. And then, like, the dog one is casual, but I think you could have a better casual photo, is what I'm saying.
Okay. Thank you guys so much for sending those in. This was great fun.
Yeah, we had so much fun. Hopefully, if you sent it in, I hope, you know, you take our comments, not to heart, because it's not that serious, but, like, you know, hopefully you find this helpful and
it was actually like
can have some fun, like,
making
you can
change
tweaks.
if you want.
Let us know if you make any of these changes. We won't probably share anything on the podcast, but like I'd be curious to see if you guys like, you know, update things, and maybe we'll DM you guys separately. It's
pretty easy to get a hold of us on the According to podcast Instagram, so you can send updates if you please.
Yeah. I think that's gonna be it for this week's episode. If you guys loved it, and we get more willing participants, we would love to do something like this in the future. And I think we've got a future just advice episode coming up here soon
next week.
So,
all right. Thank you guys so much for listening, and we will talk to you guys next week. Bye.